Frank Herbert's Dune has been adapted a couple times now. David Lynch took a swing at it in the 80s, and Sci-Fi did a series of miniseries, but this story and this world have never had mass appeal until now. Director Denis Villeneuve's vision for this franchise is that Dune can be the next Lord of the Rings. And if the box office returns for the first two Dune movies that we have so far are anything to go off of, he was right. This movie is a part one. It's a setup chapter where we get a lot of cool world building and introduction to characters, but not that much in the way of payoff. And for that reason, there are stretches of the film that feel slow. I actually gave up the first time I tried to watch the movie because it just wasn't holding my interest. But for those who stick through the slow patches, I think there's a lot to admire here. For starters, whatever you might say about the story and the pacing, you can't deny that Dune is a technical marvel. The way the movie brings this fantastical world to life is just magnificent. They do a great job of mixing the aesthetics of Star Wars sci-fi with old world monarchy. It's a combination that shouldn't work, but it does, and it works so well. The plot is very complex, which might be a frustration for some, but I love stories where you've got a bunch of factions maneuvering and vying for political power. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, this scratches a similar itch. I also just have to point out the utter sincerity of this film. Many a video essay has pointed out the fact that Joss Whedon-style humor is almost inescapable in blockbusters these days, but Dune throws that out altogether. At times, I think it may go a little bit too far in the opposite direction where it starts to feel a bit too sterile, but nevertheless, I appreciate the effort that they went through to make this story feel epic and weighty. Dune is a solid part one that introduces a world I like and a story that I'm into. It suffers a bit from not being a standalone chapter, but it has me super excited to see Dune Part 2. In my opinion, it's a 7 out of 10.